Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reality Buzz TV, where we talk about all things reality TV shows. And today, you guys, we are going to do the full review of season 4, episode 10 of The Real Housewives of Durban. I keep saying season, episode 9. I think in my previous video I said episode 9, but it is actually episode 10, you guys. And I think maybe I'm still saying episode 9 because I'm still not understanding why certain people haven't done certain things when it comes to these shows. Other people's storylines are moving along while others are just stuck in the same place, you guys. So on the first scene, we get Sorisha and Angel. They're hanging out at the mall that Sorisha owns, okay, because Sorisha owns the mall of Haibu. It's Ocean's Mall. I almost say the Mall of Africa. Okay, it's the Mall of KwaZulu Natal that she owns with her husband. Listen, you guys, I do wonder how the situation is like because everybody knows that her husband owns the mall. So I do wonder, Uguti, what is the reaction when she walks at the shop to shop? Does she get everything for free? And are people nervous and all of that? But she does look like she's somebody that will handle that in a humble way. She wouldn't be walking in. My husband owns everything in this mall, that kind of a situation. Okay. Now, they're meeting with Angel to catch up. Angel ends up telling her about how her mom's condition is getting worse, but we don't know what condition it is. And you guys, listen, don't call us evil if we say that we don't necessarily believe Angel with this mom story, mom being sick, because she had a boyfriend story that didn't add up. She also had an infertility story that didn't add up. Okay, so don't call us evil. Okay. It's just hard to believe Angel at this point. And also, I feel like maybe we do need to understand that she's somebody that just exaggerates a little bit because when your parent is sick, you guys, you don't necessarily go into the thing of my parent is about to pass away. You don't want to talk about death relating to your parent, even when they are lying in the hospital and the doctors are saying it doesn't look good. You do not want to because you want your parent around. So I feel like she's somebody that jumps into her mother is not well. She's talking about, I can't imagine losing my mother, all those things. Okay, even with the infertility, she was just having some issues here and then she concluded that she's having infertility issues. So I feel like maybe she's that kind of person that exaggerates a little bit, you guys. Even Sorisha in the diary session does make a comment like, you know what, with Angel, every time I meet her, I feel like she has a new title. She was about to get married, now she is single, and then there's just always something with Angel. So the big thing now is that her mom is not well, you guys. It feels wrong for me to say I hope her mom is really not well, because then it's like I'm wishing that her mom is sick. But I would say that in a sense that I'm hoping that she's telling the truth. Okay, but I hope that her mom gets better, you guys. Anyway, Sorisha invites her and her mom to come because they've got these machines that you can get into. And she said it optimizes cell regeneration in your body and heals your body. Okay, so you get in this machine and you sleep, and then it does the things. Okay, I was like, I need to find out how much this thing is because it sounds like something I can take my mom to. Okay, but guys, I'm not young myself, so maybe I can go. Because, like Angel said, we are senior citizens. I mean, I am taking the title, I'm owning it because Nongo is my age, okay? If Nongo is a senior citizen, we are senior citizens, okay? We need to get our citizenship, okay? And be okay with it, okay? I'll put the certificate right behind me that says senior citizen. I accept it. I am very happy with being a senior citizen. Anyway, you guys, finally, I did like the fact that Amy is going to therapy because I do feel like Amy needs therapy, you guys. Amy really needs therapy because I can't feel like you are an angry woman when I don't know you. Okay. And I feel like that with Amy. I feel like you look at her face and you just feel like this woman is mad about something. Okay. And you don't know what it is. And it's obviously not something that has happened with the women because she hasn't spent enough time with these women to be that angry. She's always just like no. I'm like, something happened in your childhood. What happened? Okay. So hopefully we are going to understand Emmy a little bit more. And we're going to understand her a little bit better now that she's going to therapy, because obviously she's going to share some things. And I love it for her. Okay. I love that she's going to be able to share some things. And you guys, she talks about the fact that she never really gets vulnerable. So taking this opportunity to take care of herself now. She talks about how difficult it is to be a single mom, and her son is at an age now where he is asking about his father. And since their breakup was not so pleasant, but breakups are never pleasant anyway, and now she doesn't know how she's going to approach that situation, and she's needing help there. She does talk about the fact that she had her kids very young. I did wonder, guys, how young exactly she was when she had her kids. And she said that she got into relationships not because she felt she was ready to get into relationships, but there was just something that she needed to fulfill within her, and that's what she did. Because back then I feel like, iyashoda, so ubevala isikhala. That's why she got into these relationships. Listen, I do feel like if we see more of Amy at a therapy session, and it looks like she's getting real, she's sharing real experiences, and I feel like some of us might end up having Amy as our favorite, because when you understand a cast member, you understand where a cast member comes from, you might understand their actions, and you might be willing to support them and defend them even in the comment section, because you just understand them better. So I think this one was really like a good one for her to do, like doing a therapy session, you guys. And then I need to breathe with this one. I need to breathe with this one, because one thing I've always wanted was for Slee to move away from this cycle of being financially overstretched. I feel like Housewives comes with opportunities, okay? You get this exposure, you guys. Who are you going to call in South Africa, let's just say entertainment space, and say, I am Slee Ndlovu, and they're not gonna know? If they don't know who Slee Ndlovu is, you can just say Slee Ndlovu, one of the Real Housewives. Okay, that in itself comes with a lot of opportunities. So I kind of feel like if you've done 2 seasons of Real Housewives, girl, you should just be out of the financially overstretched situation. If you are still there, maybe you'll like it a little bit, okay? And we've seen it happen with Ulasi, you guys. Lassie has come back to us and said, guys, you don't know, I was actually very broke when I did the first season of Real Housewives. I did not have no money to do my hair, my makeup. People had to donate, the services to me. People had to donate their addresses and say, listen, I'll give you an address, just post me. I'll do your makeup, just post me. I'll do your hair, just post me. Because at that time, she really was financially overstretched. I actually think Uguti Ulasi was even more financially overstretched than Usli. Look at her where she is now, okay? She might not be a billionaire, honey, but I feel like she's doing okay. She has a few jobs, okay, and she's okay. Now and then she goes overseas, Ayojola. So I mean, the girl is doing okay. So with Usli, I just feel like she's not focused, okay, or it doesn't look that way on the show, okay? Especially if you have rich friends, honey, you want to be able to pay a bill or two. Your friends can't be paying bills all the time. If you go out with Sorisha, yes, she's a billionaire, but you might want to get the bill once in a while. So it is a good thing to do well for yourself too, okay? So she goes to this meeting that is supposed to be a business meeting. I thought it's a business meeting. Not Amy, Annie from Enim Table, guys, is back. Yeah, they didn't even tell us what it's coming back. They just now and then they drop her in the episode. They're like, oh, okay, I guess. Didn't she quit? She's like Jojo, who quit like 15,000 times last season. So she comes, Annie, and I'm thinking this is a business meeting, because apparently she had said to Annie, listen, I need some advice on brand management or whatever, because she's doing this clothing line, Usli. Guys, if I say she spoke about her fashion business for 2 seconds, I'm being generous. It was shorter than that. It was like, yeah, by the way, I had said I will call you about my business. By the way, listen to this, Mkosi. I'm like, Lee, is it really important for you to talk about Maria? Because really, this is a scene on Real Housewives, okay? And you are working on your business. Shouldn't we be hearing more about your business? So Lee, guys, keeps disappointing me. I don't want to lie. So she didn't talk much about her business. Because Annie is there. Annie is a businessman, a businesswoman, you guys. She has multiple businesses. Annie is very successful. And if you're going to be sitting down with a friend of yours who is a businesswoman, then, get some advice, girl. Gossip later on, because she's coming to your event anyway. Then you can gossip then. Why do you need to gossip now? Why do you need to gossip now when you need to deal with business? I didn't understand that. So they talked this much about her business, and then the rest they were just talking about Maria. They're saying, "Oh, Maria, now that she's made up with the other group, it means that she was pretending to be their friend." Apparently, Jojo had said something to Amy, to Annie. I keep saying Amy to Annie about how fake Maria is in pretending to be their friend. That's what Jojo said. Okay, but now Annie's like, "Oh, that means that Jojo was right about Maria." Okay, but then, and it's like, but Vele, me, you, and Sorisha had always been more closer than her to us. Okay. They even reveals, Lee reveals, because that's why we had a different WhatsApp group. This is what I don't get about Slee. You are saying you want to be friends with Maria, and you're saying that you are hurt by the fact that she's now made friends with the others. Now she doesn't really want to be friends with you. But you keep dropping these things that really showed that you were never Maria's friend. So what are you upset about, sis? If she doesn't want to be your friend, she was never your friend anyway, because you guys had a whole separate WhatsApp group that she didn't know about. So basically, last season, Maria was nobody's friend because she was in the out with Jojo and Nonku, but these ones were pretending to be her friend, but they were also having another separate WhatsApp group without her. So she was not their friend. She was nobody's friend last season, or nobody was Maria's friend. Because it might also be that way. So I was disappointed, you guys, by the fact that they talked more about gossip that is happening in the group than Slee's business, because Slee needs to be talking about her business. Okay, she needs it. I don't understand it. They also talk about how Maria hates storage. I'm like, we already know that. Why do you need to have that conversation in a meeting that is supposed to be about your business? Maybe you like being financially overstretched. Okay, maybe let's leave you there in your financially overstretched corner, because here is an opportunity to talk about your business and you're not doing it. Okay. Anyway, you guys, even Annie was like, don't expose our group, because the group was a secret, because that can hurt Maria's feelings to say, how, guys, I thought we had a group and then you guys form another group. What were you talking about in that group that you were not talking about in this group? Okay. And those group, you guys, are very risky. Okay. I usually just hold back when it comes to those conversations, because you guys, sometimes you can send a message to the wrong group gossiping about the other person, what it's meant for the other. I just feel like it gets so much. So I'm like, when the group are like getting divided, you put getting put in this group, and then the other one, I'm like, hey, let me just listen, let me just read. So listen, you guys. Maria, okay. Maria decides that she's gonna go take a lie detector test because she wants to prove to everybody that she didn't ride Nils D. I'm like, Maria, nobody said you rode Nils D. They said you sat on it. Maria takes something about Intengan and makes it big, and then every time she talks about it, it becomes bigger, it becomes bigger. And I think it's really in her mind that it becomes that big in her mind. But nobody is denying, even when people are talking about it, even her, she herself is not denying that she sat on Neil. Okay, but now she's making it a thing of, they said that I'm sleeping around, they said that I was riding your D, they said that I'm cheating on my husband. I'm like, nobody said that. So the whole thing, Maria, guys, I don't get it. I just feel like she's exactly. It was something about sitting. You were sitting on your friend, and it looked inappropriate. And if you say no, it wasn't inappropriate, then oh well, let's move on. But you are just making bigger and bigger and bigger. And every time that she talks about it, it's becoming bigger and bigger. I'm like, nobody said that Neil was effing you or you guys were effing each other. No, no, no. They said you were sitting on him and it looked inappropriate for a woman that is married. Okay. So I feel like it being big is all in Maria's mind at this point. She goes for a lie detector test. They test it. I'm like, guys, listen. Let me make an example. This is Vaseline. Okay. This is Vaseline. If somebody sees me ngigcoba Vaseline, and then they're going to talk about me with Vaseline in her lips. Okay. Then I go to take a lie detector test to prove that I wasn't jobbing Vaseline. Huh? Because I don't understand that. You sat on Nell. Okay, everybody saw you sitting on Nell. The thing that it could be an argument here is were you sitting because maybe you wanted to do something to Neil or not? Okay. because nobody has said that. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. Nobody said they are having an affair. Nobody said she's cheating on her husband. Nobody said after everybody leaves, they're doing the dingy, dingy, dingy. No, nobody said. They just said you said, and they saw you, and nobody's denying that they saw you sitting on it. Okay, so what's the lie detector for? Is it what question are they asking you? I wish that they showed us what question they're asking, but because I wanted to see where you're sitting on nails. I wanted to see an answer to that. Maybe they will show us later on. But she does a lie detector test, and they say there was no deception indicated. I'm like, but it doesn't really matter to us because we don't know what questions were asked. Okay. But also, she did not need to do a lie detector test because she's not denying that she said on nail. The argument is others felt it was inappropriate, but she doesn't feel like it was inappropriate, and she didn't feel like they should have mentioned it. Okay. Now, you guys, Lee and Emmy are having like a pool day. They're hanging out. This is the thing about Slee. Why are you hanging up by the pool, hanging out by the pool when you are supposed to be preparing for an event? Okay, I don't know when they shot the scene where they're hanging out by the pool, but it felt to me like, listen, you should be about your business. If you're having Emmy around, Emmy is also a businesswoman. Having Emmy around, you should be doing something. Okay, I felt that especially when at the end the event doesn't go so well with this. You've been hanging out with your friend and gossiping and whatnot, but you were supposed to be preparing for this event, your first ever business event on the show. But she was hanging out by the pool, and they were talking about the fact that Amy is going to therapy. And Slee was like, I think it's a good idea for you to do that. And she was saying, maybe now that you're going to therapy, you will be able to give Zama a chance. And Emmy's like, listen, I don't want to give Zama a chance. Okay. That means she's not willing to be friends with Uzama. Okay, fine. Now they're saying that Usorisha is planning a trip. They're saying they're going to Namibia. Maybe they're going to see the housewives, the real housewives of Namibia or something. They're going to Namibia, and everybody is going to be invited. I assumed at this scene, but later on we find out that everybody is invited. And they're saying that as long as Slee says, as long as me, Sorisha, and you are fine, are having fun, then the trip is going to be fine. And OM is asking us what about Angel? So I guess they are not sure about Angel. And that's how shady Slee can get, but sometimes she'll be acting like she's innocent in this situation. Anyway, you guys, apparently, Lee's man is a doctor. I think I'll show a picture somewhere. I don't know. Maybe when I do a video just about that. And because I did take a picture, her man is a doctor. She says the relationship is going well. She can't fault him. And I'm like, now, okay, now you're in a stable relationship. You have a job here on Real Housewives. Can we get your business together? Okay. Can you? I want us to get her business together, guys. We also got Sorisha and Vivian just hanging out at home, and they're talking about the fact that they've been married for 22 years. They said, and I guess it's going to be a big celebration. Also, at the same time, Vivian Reddy wants to do a documentary about his life, and they were also talking about how their kids did so well at school. I guess those are the results from last year, because Sorisha's son was doing grade 12 last year and he did really well, you guys. So they were talking about that. And apparently, you guys, Vivian Reddy bought his children penthouses, not just a penthouse, anyana. Penthouses, okay, as gifts, just because they passed. Listen, it did look like Sorisha is not happy. Maybe Sorisha is feeling like Vivian is spoiling the kids too much. I mean, I feel like, guys, if you can afford it, why not give it to your kids? Why not give it to your kids? Okay. And their kids look very humble and they're very respectful from what we've seen, and they're doing well at school. So why not? Okay. Why not? Maybe it's something that they will have to manage for them until they're at a age where they're independent, they want to stay on their own. But I'm like, why not? It's the same thing with Happy's Melanie, you guys. I do feel like the things that she gives to her kids, if you can afford it, give it to them, because other people were saying she's doing too much for the kids, whatever. Give it to them. But I feel like you still need to make sure that the child is at school, doing well at school, and they're being respectful and all of that. And if you can reward the child with some of those things, those expensive things, and you can afford them, then do it. Why not, you guys? So that was a conversation. I guess they'll be doing a documentary together, guys. And then the funny part is that Sorisha called herself a young chick. She says that people never thought that we will make it because everybody thinks that you just with this young chick. I'm like, it's more like a young chicken. It's more like a young chicken. You were a young chicken then. Now you're like, I don't know. Guys, I'm like, Sorisha really thinks she's still like that young Miss South Africa, India. She thinks she hasn't grown. Girl, you grown. If I'm senior citizen, you are more senior than I am. Okay. There's all kinds of senior citizens, but some citizens are more senior than others. And you are definitely more senior than me. Okay. These women are having such a hard time just accepting their age and dealing with it. Okay. So anyway, you guys, we do get Usli finally talking to her dad, okay? And I do feel like Slee is not focused because, listen, I would have made that scene a really good scene. I would have traveled all the way to where my father lives, and I would have made sure that they see my father's house or whatever. I would have met with my father, and everybody met my dad, because so that we have a lot to talk about as far as the league is concerned. And also we have a storyline to follow up on next season. I would have sat with my dad and had a conversation. But Slee is not focused on this season because there's nothing more important to Slee than gossip, okay? And hanging on to things from the season before. That's all that she's doing. Anyway, you guys, she gets to call her dad, you guys. This is what I feel about, when you're feeling like there are things that your parents didn't do right as far as you, raising you and all of that. You feel like your father was not there for you, your mother was not there for you. I feel like sometimes you are lucky enough to get an apology from your parents, and you get acknowledgement from them to say, listen, I did not do right, and I wish I did better. If you're lucky, you get that from your parents. But I do feel like, you guys, if you're not lucky enough to get that, when you reach a certain age, it really just has to be about you. If you need to go to therapy and work on things for yourself. Also, sometimes the parents will still be around, but they will just not be acknowledging what you want them to acknowledge. And you have to be able, at some point, at a certain age, your parents' certain age and your age as well, you have to just accept it's okay, this is how it is. I'm here, I'm alive, I'm a functioning human being. So clearly they didn't do such a bad job because I'm here. Let me see how I can help myself. It's not everything that we need from our parents that we can get. Sometimes you never get an apology because they don't know what they're apologizing for. Sometimes when you get an apology, they're just apologizing because they're like, clearly my child is upset about something, but I don't know what it is. And I feel like it's kind of that with her father, because she does say, Ubabwake really believes that he has been there. So I feel like a lot of the work has to be done with Slee within herself, because I'm sure her father is of a certain age at this point, and if he hasn't changed over the years, it's unlikely that he will change now. So she calls him and she's talking about how when her mother passed, nobody was there for her and all of that. You guys, I do understand that it doesn't matter how old you are, you're always going to need your dad. But I do feel like at some point you have to be like, okay, now, he's not giving it to me. Let me see how I can move on the best that I can. But at some point, at least that does say, listen, I'm going to, man enough to say, listen, I'm sorry if you feel that I did not do what I was supposed to do the way that I was supposed to do. I feel like you are my child. I love you. You and your children, I love you. You are not a mistake. And we just need to keep in contact, which is the same thing that the brother said, because when she was speaking to her brother had said, listen, with my dad, in order for you to have communication with him, you can't wait for him to initiate it, because then he's just never going to do it. So if it's important to you to be in constant contact with him, then you just need to be the one that initiates it, because if you don't, you're not getting it. So he was saying, you will think that I have a better relationship with my father because he calls me, but he doesn't. I call him because I feel like it's important for me to do that. So if you want that too, then maybe you should initiate it. So they concluded to say they're going to try and keep in contact with each other, you guys. But I liked it falsely that she did get an apology from her father. And I do feel like it's true what she says, that her father might actually believe that he has not done anything wrong. Not that he hasn't done anything wrong, but I feel like her father feels like he's done the best that he can. Most parents feel that way, you guys. So that's it. Finally, we get a conversation, but I feel like that scene could have been so much better if she visited her father visited her, something like that, so that we get like a sit down. So I feel like she could have done better there, you guys. Now we do get to a point where now it's the event. Hey, it's Lee's event, you guys. It's Lee's event. It's supposed to be a fashion show because she's supposed to show her clothing line. I don't know what the theme was. I didn't understand what the theme was. Everybody comes, they set up the tables, everything. It just looked like one of Real Housewives dinners, you guys, because there was no fashions. It was like Sheree from Real Housewives of Atlanta. You're doing a fashion show, but there's no clothes. Okay, there's no clothes. Even Annie was like, there should have been at least mannequins somewhere. Hanging clothes somewhere, the display somewhere, even pictures of the clothes, there was nothing. Okay, everybody's looking beautiful at this event. Everybody was there except for Zama. And guys, and I was shocked because I watched that scene like 3 times and I didn't realize that Zama was not there. Only later on, I don't know who mentioned Zama, and I went, I know Zama was not there, and I was like, oh, do we need her on the show if I can just get you that easy? It was like, Mbale Zizwe was part of Real Housewives. And when she didn't show up this season, nobody was asking much questions about where is Mbale, where is Mbale, you know. But when Abolo London left, when Abola C left, everybody was just going on the whole season about how they missed them. Okay. So with Uzama, I did not, I mean, only after I'm like, how? Where is Uzama? I did not miss her. And I'm like, girl, that's not good that you are missing in the whole episode and we don't miss you. Anyway, you guys, unless she was there, I didn't see her. Even that is a problem. Because that means that you're there, but we can't see you. Anyway, you guys, so everybody is attending the events. Zama is not there. I guess maybe she was busy with something because I don't believe that Usli has any direct issue with Uzama. So I would think that Usli would have invited Uzama. So they get there, you guys, at the event. Obviously, the other side is Jojo, Nuku, and Maria, and then it's Neil, and then Besekubage, Angel, Emmy, and then it's Slee, who is the host, and then it's Sorisha, and then Mabusi also shows up, you guys. I did like it for her that she showed up, and then it's Mabusi. And guys, like I said in my other video, that the evil heart of Nonku is just displaying itself this season because she's bothered by the fact that Mabusi is here. Later on, she's gonna be bothered by the fact that Mabusi and Jojo are talking and understanding each other and forgiving each other and moving forward. And I'm like, what kind of a Christian is this? Which one is this one? I'm like, which one is this one? So, you guys, listen. Now, Annie Mtembu comes because she's invited to the event. Makes a comment. Would say, I thought this was supposed to be a fashion show, but me is seeing no fashions. Okay, none. Okay, only the fashion in people's bodies. They come in, you guys. I feel like with Usli Nonoko, they're always just making these comments. Like, listen, you guys, you might not like somebody, but sometimes you might think their outfit is cute. Okay. I never find a situation where I don't like somebody where I feel like even best when I mean, I think like, yeah, but I just don't like it. So with them, it's like everything is like to Usli and then to it's like childish stuff. Okay. So they get there. I know Noko had made a comment that Usli was not prepared for the event. I'm like, what event? You know, I guess there were things taking place behind the scenes that made them feel like this person is not prepared for this event. But we were about to find out because even though I wasn't seeing the clothes, you guys, I was like, maybe there are girls behind, a door somewhere, and then she's gonna be like, guys, here is my line. financially overstretched. And that's why, maybe she should change the name, because the financially overstretched situation, maybe it's I don't know, guys, maybe the career was like financially overstretched, so that's why it didn't arrive, you know. Change the name. Okay, change the name. I don't know what name can she use. Okay, abundance or something. Something that is going to show that is you're just going to get a lot of money from this business. So I thought at some point she's gonna be like tada, and then they're going to go walk in. I was even looking at the floor, and I was like surprised because there was that square carpet there, and I was like, how are people gonna walk there? Because I really thought there's no way this woman is having a fashion show, but there's no fashion. I really didn't think that it was really going to be like that. Anyway, you guys, so it didn't, you guys. There was no fashions. And yes, you guys, listen, there's a lot that happens at that dinner, but I will talk about it in a separate video, you guys. But I liked some things and I didn't like something, but I feel like that scene on its own is probably going to be another maybe 15 minutes video if I really want to get into what happened at that dinner. However, you are welcome to make your comments down below about how you felt about what went on in the dinner, so that I can put your thoughts too in what happened when I'm reviewing that last scene. But for now, I've run out of time. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ngenethanda kakhulu.